Hello, friends. I've been thinking about the late Assotto Saint. I have his recently published collected works, Sacred Spells, and there are a number of invigorating and vitalizing essays and poems within that collection that really help ground me and orient me in this moment of chaos and crisis. Two things I want to share with you. The first is his belief that all of our writing should be public professions of private passions, that we should never write about something that we don't believe in deeply, whether that's the world we want to build together, the injustice of the political landscape, or our desire for intimacy and communion with people like us and not like us. He really believed that we have to get out the medicine, right? He says in an essay, Why I Write, that he's never going to tell you the problem without also providing the solution to that problem, right? So there is a relationship building that Assotto believed our writing, our playwriting, our poetry could do in the world, both interpersonally and collectively. Later in the collection, he writes, "May the rhythm of our Black gay hearts be as uplifting in our daily lives as it is in our essays, anthologies, films, rallies, one-night stands, and poems. May our writing be public professions of our private passions," right? Think about the rally and the one-night stand, just to compare these two gatherings. One is deeply intimate, one-on-one, and I might not know your name after this night. The other, also potentially full of loving strangers, is 1 to 1,000. In each of those scenarios, it is a private passion coming to life in a public engagement, no matter how private the one-night stand might be. And for gay men, it's usually not very very private at all. But anyway, I won't digress. But this is working on me because I think that so much of what we publicly express is an aspiration, not an actuality. So much of what we express and write about is imaginative. We don't actually live the life we write about just yet. And I love that he's asking us to recognize that. May the rhythm of our Black gay hearts be as uplifting in our daily lives as it is in our essays, anthologies, films, rallies, one-night stands, and poems. We deserve to live and inhabit the lives we write about. This is why I love Dean Atta so much. His poetry is real and visceral, and it does what all great poetry ought to do, which is speak to deeper truths within the human experience. But there's also so much intimacy and world building that he actually lives. We talk about his role as a mentor to other writers and poets and young people who have something to say and just need a bit of coaxing and guidance to help get that out. And one of the points that Dean brings up is clarity of purpose and intention. So much of our drive is to have other people understand us when we actually don't really understand ourselves very deeply or very intimately or very thoroughly, right? That art is very much about us answering our own questions, never mind getting someone else to understand us, right? And so Dean calls young people and any writer of any age, of any background, to know yourself, believe in yourself. And Dean goes on to say that sometimes we just need one other person, right? Sometimes we just need one other person, and it's usually not the people we thought we needed. And I just love this. This again links to my ongoing inquiry around the Black marvelous and the role of art in times of crisis and certainly beyond them. What is it about the Black imagination and the Black queer imagination in particular that is so fucking vigorous? Why are we so good at world building? And Dean's poem, Two Black Boys in Paradise, is for me a stellar example of not only what's at stake, but the nuanced and tender ways that queer Black people look at the landscapes around us and find paradise within them. You and I, in this moment, you listening to me ramble on. We're building something together, and it's small and it's intimate and it's only here, but maybe these are precisely more of the moments that we need to cultivate together, less of the kind of grandiose visibility that hasn't actually protected lots of our community, and more of the paradise of our intimacy. So Dean and I open our conversation with a joint reading of Two Black Boys in Paradise, the poem that inspired the BAFTA-winning film of the same name. And then we go on to talk about mentorship and creativity and purpose and flowers, which I'm really excited for you to hear. I really put my foot in my mouth. But I didn't edit it out, I left it in because perfection is not the goal. I really appreciate you being here and for listening to me ramble on about what brings me alive. I'm Josh Rivers, and I'm busy being Black with Dean Atta.